Hello and welcome to this short video about condensation and mould. We've made this film to show what causes these common problems and what you can do to help prevent them. The film lasts about 7 minutes and covers the following: what causes condensation, how to prevent condensation when cooking, when drying clothes, when bathing, and some important considerations such as fans, furnishings and heating and ventilation. We also explain what SW9 will do to solve condensation and mould problems, and who to contact for advice. Recognise these activities? Of course you do. They're all routine parts of our daily lives. So let's take a look at a typical kitchen. No moisture problems here, but let's put the kettle on and see what happens. Well, as you can see, there wasn't a problem before, but now the windows have steamed up and water is starting to drip down onto the windowsill. The steam from the kettle turned into water again when it hit the cold window, and that, in a nutshell, is condensation. Everyday actions such as cooking, bathing, washing, drying clothes, even breathing, produce moisture. Each time we do any of these things, the air around us gets wetter, and when it can't hold any more moisture, water gathers on cold surfaces like windows, tiles and outside walls. The problem is worse when the room is cold, and when nothing is done to stop the condensation, you end up with mould. But luckily, we can take action to prevent it. When you're cooking, always cover pans to stop the steam from escaping and ventilate the kitchen by opening a window slightly. Whenever possible, dry clothes outside. If you live in a flat or it won't stop raining, then dry them on a clothes area in a room that's cool but not cold. Never be tempted to dry clothes on radiators. This is one of the main causes of condensation and can result in mould growth on wallpaper, soft furnishings and even clothes, especially if the radiator is in the bedroom. If you use a tumble dryer, make sure it's vented to the outside. Avoid using a non-vented tumble dryer, as these can make the problem worse. You can buy a self-condensing dryer, although these do tend to be a little more expensive. When you run a bath, always start with the cold water before you add the hot. This will reduce the amount of steam produced, and it's also much safer, especially if you have small children. Whether you prefer a bath or a shower, if it's not too cold, open the window a little. This will also help to reduce the amount of moisture in the room. After bathing or showering, wipe down the tiles to remove the surface water. Then, open the window and shut the door long enough to let the room dry completely. If you have an extractor fan, it's essential that you use it properly. After bathing or cooking, close the windows and switch on the fan, that is, if it doesn't start automatically. Then, close the door behind you. This will allow the fan to draw moisture from the room more effectively and also means that it won't just go into other parts of your home. Try to avoid placing furniture against the wall, especially outside walls, as this prevents air from moving freely and also traps moisture. This bed was placed against an outside wall, trapping moisture and encouraging mould growth. Never overfill wardrobes and cupboards, as this will also trap moisture and may result in damage to clothes. It can also make them smell musty. This is really important if the units are built in and attached to an outside wall. Try to allow space between hanging items on a rail. To make room in your wardrobe, you might consider storing seasonal items in storage boxes. This type of thing may keep you warm, but if the heating is off, then you will, in all likelihood, end up with a condensation problem. We realise that heating your home costs money. However, if you don't use your heating effectively, you could end up with higher energy bills and also suffer from condensation and mould. It can be cheaper to keep your home at a constant temperature, which is warm but not hot, than it is to crank up the heating or put the fire on when you feel cold. Setting the room or radiator thermostats for a constant temperature, around 19 degrees, means that your boiler doesn't have to work as hard, and you'll also be less likely to get condensation and mould. Never be tempted to block off ventilation, not even in the winter time. Most windows have a vent to allow air to circulate, and this should not be closed in order to prevent drafts. If moisture behind curtains and blinds has nowhere to escape, it can result in water streaming down windows and walls. The SW9 team can give you advice on how to use your heating more effectively and efficiently, and also point you in the direction of other energy advice. The telephone number is 0207 326 3700. Please call to arrange a home visit or pick up one of our leaflets from the office. It's inevitable that you will get condensation in your home at some point, but by following our advice, you can prevent it from becoming a problem. Thank you for taking the time to watch our film. We hope that you found it both interesting and informative. If you have any questions or are simply looking for advice regarding condensation, please contact us on 0207 326 3700. Email us at info@sw9.org.uk or visit our website www.sw9.org.uk.